PL Euro at Neden, whispering, just wait and see, and his BR Euro F cent, shivers to zero when hers P. Nay, and with that, the dance began anew, the promise of another day, filled with pay dollar dollar ion and love, a never-ending cycle that kept there, hearts racing and their souls bound together. As they stepped into the daylight, the world outside was unaware of the private WR they waged, a war of day, and denial that ended in sweet, sweet sir, you're under every night. Wyan couldn't help but be excited about Himen's plans for breakfast in bed. She knew he was an expert in the kitchen, but it was his creativity in the bedroom that really got her going. She led through the morning, her thoughts drifting back to the night's earlier activities and the exciting possibilities of the day ahead. The smell of coffee Pame Euro aided the flat, a familiar and comforting scent that mixed with the faint aroma of sizzling bacon. Himen emerged from the kitchen with a tray in his hands, looking every bit the devoted husband. The tray contained 2 steaming cups of coffee, a plate of perfectly cooked eggs Benedict, and a side of crispy bacon. But it was the way. He looked at her with a hunger that was unrelated to food that made her stomach flip in anticipation. He placed the tray on the bed, his gaze never leaving hers as he sequoined beside her. They ate in silence, the only sound in the room being the occasional clink of cutlery, but the air was charged. The space between them, skay with unspoken words, and the electricity of their day, each bite was a foreshadowing of what was to come, each's P of coffee, a reminder of the night's sweetness that Lenji Euro read on their LPs. As they finished their meal, him and Rim Zero read the tray, his movements deliberate and precise, as if he were preparing for an elaborate performance. He turned back to her, his eyes DRK and in Euro NT, and she knew the real breakfast was about to begin. He lay at Neden, his all, peace capturing hers in a gentle yet TEM at NDING. Key dollar dollar, his hands zero ved over her BOTY, REACQ at ending themselves, with every C, M, and D. P, as if it had been an eternity since he'd last T.O. you had her. Her B0DY immediately responded, her skin covered in goosebumps, and her breath caught in her throat. She could feel the heat against her, his arousal, a silent declaration of his to for her. The Tayat Singh from the day before had created an insatiable hunger in him, and she was more than Wovyu. LL to provide the feast that would satisfy him. With a soft M0 and she ahead into his TOUCH, her LG's parting. As he set T between them. His key dollar dollar ease became more urgent, his hands more ends, stent as he Sele met her once more, his TO ingui TRCI and G the sayadam of her. P.S. Before de-euroving further, the world outside their bedroom door disappeared, lay at being only the H Euro ete of the OD. Ease, the rapid B Euro out of their hearts, and the sweet symphony of their love. Hemin soul. D his hand DOW and her BODY. His if in G Euro rest, finding her already. Sim O oath enter adens. He te at SAD her, bear 0 ands, and making her B Euro G for more. And just when she thought she couldn't take it anymore, he gave it to her F and G her with himself in a single sum zero off powerful. A zero okay. Their BOD is zero ved and unsun, a dance perfected over countless nights with RHTHM as natural as BR Euro a thing, the $10 ion and sip at tie and GRW until they at shed and unk zero enter zero label $0 sendo. With a final go-to owl cry, they at shed the PK together. Their BO E should Euro ring from the FORC of the climax. They clue into each other L0 in the present moment, the outside world forgotten. YN knew she'd made the right decision in these moments following their pa dollar, Onate Inc. 0 enter. Jimin was more than just her lover. He was her full FL Euro Judd partner, the one who knew her D Euro past. Day, race, and eagerly per dollar of them alongside her. As they L at Y there, their hearts raw ing and un. Sun, the light of the new day streaming in through the windows, she whispered. Thank you, with more emotion in her words than she could ever truly express. He drew her CLOCR, his CH Euro dollar TR, sing and falling with the EFO wreath of his BR Euro aving. For what? He inquired, his tone low, and R0, ooh. For making every day feel like the first, she responded, her voice full of adium, ration. For never letting me forget how much you want me. Jimin's smile was a gentle caress on her skin. You're welcome, he said softly, pre-dollar in a key dollar on her forehead. Because every day with you feels like the first. Their mornings were always like this, a sweet combination of pa dollar IN and T Euro and Euro-ness that made them both feel more alive than ever. As the day progressed, they realized that the game of Tay at Sing and then all would continue, but for the time being, they were content to be at SK in the glow of their love. YN Pedaler had herself up, letting the sheets SL. PD0 when to RVL her, be at her shoulders. But we can't SP Euro do the WHO a day in BD. She said, her voice Tayat sing, we have a life to live. Jimin chuckled, his gaze following the CU the first P. Nia she M0 vet away from him. He sat up, his armsies LOOPI neck down. Her was T in bringing her back into his embered sea. Who said we can't? He whispered into her ear, his BR Euro sending such verse D0 when. Her SP, me. With a laugh, she read out of his GRSP, jumping out of bed and running to the toilet. I'll think about it, she said over her shoulder, with the sound of the shiro were soon following. Jimin watched her lap ve, his smile never efforting. He knew she'd give, and eventually, and she'd want him as much as he WN'd her. They performed a daily dance of day, ray and love that never got old. As the water sea alercated over her body, mine couldn't help but reflect on the night ahead. She knew Jimin would find new ways to say her and make her say her his TOUC. The anticipation was a THR Ling cocktail that made her BOD Web 8 with X. Tement. But first they N Euro dead to get through the day. A day filled with work, friends, and the routine tasks that comprise the fabric of their lives. Even in the midst of the ordinary, there was a SP at RK of something special that only they shared. They stepped into the living room, their BOD. Ease still flew dollar head from their recent love at King and the scent of their day, Rill, and Jiro read in the atmosphere. Jimin put on a pair of sweatpants and observed Wyan's casual yet Uring outfit. The day was theirs to conquer, a playground for their love to bloom, in the open. They'd exchange glances across crowded rooms, whisper sweet nothings in quiet moments, and tie OU Psi H, other in ways that spoke volumes without using a single word. The game had only just begun, and Wayne knew that every second she done at him would make the eventual surrender all the sweeter. It was an exciting prospect, and her heart raced with anticipation. As they went about their day, the tension between them anchor Euro Ace, becoming a palpable force that could not be ignored. The world Around them was a blur of smiles and greetings, laughter, and work, but all YN could think about was the upcoming night. When they returned home, the flat was a Coco ON of WRMTHN. Comfort, ideal for the grand finale of their little game. Hyun's gaze never left hers as they DRW00 there to CK with the promise of pay $$ ion. He reached out and brushed his F and G euro tips against her cheek. Sending SP at our case of day, re through her. Ready? He asked, his voice DRK and T euro emptying. Wyann's heart's K to the beat. More than ready, she responded, her voice sultry and inviting. The night passed in a blur of key $$ E's and TO Uchas whispered. Confe $$ ions and M0 ands of place euro at sure. They po dollar had each other's. Limits discovered new D euro PTHS of pay $$ ion and became L0ST in a world that was uniquely theirs. Their love was a me euro strong, a storm of need, and wanted that. Consumed them completely, and when the night reached its climax, they were left CL, NG to each other, their hearts pounding in Ansan, and their BOD, ISSLTK with SWA. In the silence that followed, as they lay tangled in the sheets, their BR Euro Fs mingling in the D at Regnus, Nyan realized she had discovered something special. A love that was fiery and gentle, all-consuming, while still allowing them to be themselves. Hyun's aim is T. GHT Euro net around her, and his CHS to rose and fell with each BRAT. You're mine, he murmured softly, sending SH verse D0 when her P. Ni. Wyan turned her head, meeting his gaze in the D at Rickness. Always. She reassured him in a soft whisper. Their gazes LCKED for a moment before Heminly at Nadin and key $$ ed. Her of piece T euro and euro rui and pause $euro sifly. Her T at C was ad. Type, and he never got tired of it. He D euro pen the key $$ SL. Dingus T aonga, pastoral piece in TW. Rolling with hers in a dance that never failed to leave them both be our Euro Atlas. Her hands Mizero ved across his B0D, white X below ring every inch of him, with a hunger that had only grown since the morning. She felt him, hot den against her, his da, re for her and into X, Kating L. Sure that scent. Her heart racing. Their key $$ ES became more in Euro knees, their BOD. E's GR ding together, in a silent place Euro A for more, Hyun's hands sell. 500 D0 when her back, cupping her $$ and bringing her CLO sear, the FR. Chin between their SK, Negan ting her navies. He BRO the key $, his eyes burning with day. Ray. I want you, he. Verzero willed, his voice raw and primal, sending it THR. All through her, Wyan's eyes to you, and cold with mischief. Do you know? She said, her voice softly challenging. The Efri in his eyes BR tend a silent promise that she would not be den at for much longer. Hero, add her onto her BCK, his B0DY, C0 veering hers, his we, GHTCR Euro, a Tingadel. CS pre $$ year that caused her to atch into him. The air was T. CK with anticipation as him and key $$ at his way, D0 when. Her and CK, his TTH grazing her SK. And he took his time, sat V0 URNG, every and hot of her. Lay at Vignetire at Eleve, right behind him. His M0 youth found her in PPE and his TO in Joshu, railed around the Seine, Tiv P Euro K, until she G at sped for air. Her hands were F. Stead in the sheets, the sons at tie-in of his MO youth, Aga, Naherske, and driving her ends at knee. She could feel the W euro tess between her L euro G's and the Ru dollar H of day. Riku sing through her BO day. Himin, Shim zero anid, her voice play it ding for more. Him o ved slowly D0 when her B0 dy key dollar ing her Saint zero mock and at PS. Before finally re-etching her most sin dollar. Tiv SPOT, his TO ingwa T art seed, the sopho D is of her S euro X, te at sing her C. T in a rhythm that sent her. PS boot copyright king off the BD. The world around them vanished as they were IMO rest in the symphony of their pa dollar ion. Himin's M0 youth and hands worked. In perfect sensi, bringing her ever seal zero seer to the edge, whence B tut became R gauged, and her N at IS dug into his shoulders as she Gr PPROD Geet T. When she couldn't take it any longer, she be euro gauged. Please, I N euro D UNs to me. Hemin's eyes sage oni with tar, his da. Re at ching a fever, PGHE, he pause. T won himself near her ENTR and CE, his COK. THCK and re-do. He feet her completely with one SW feet movement, there be 0D. Joe, ning in a way that FLT both familiar and X. Ratingly new. Their movements became more urgent, their BOD, ease SL at PPing. Together in a RHTHM that Rev Euro B aided throughout the queue. Apartment. Widem Zim Zero and became a low uter, fling the room, and hurl Euro G's. WR at PP at around his wa. Saint drawing him D euro per. Him and Ger Zero anid, his own rel euro ace building, the $10 INT GHT euro ningen. His gut, look at me, he said, his voice STR at eining. Her eyes D euro net as she M euro T his gaze, their connection a live view. She could see love and Lu dollar T in his eyes, which reflected in her own. With a final $$ P euro rate po dollar H, they both at shed the sum mem might, their BOD. E's should ring from the FORC E of their climax. They clue into each other, their hearts racing in some as the waves of play at sure CR shed over them. As they day nid from the high, him and key $$ at her softly, a gentle reminder of the love that Dr. O thither pay $$ ion. I can't get enough of you, he said softly, his voice how it rees. YN responded with a contented sigh, her B0DYLMP and sat. Svide, Ben Euro FM. Me either, she whispered, her eyes see Elo sing. Their BR Euro eating slowed, and their hearts gradually returned to a regular rhythm, even in the silence, the ant. CIP at TION for the next. Round of their game hung in the air, a T at and T at L ice ING promise of what was to come. They L at Y there with their BO, these intertwa. Ned, the W at RMTH of their love, WP-ing around them like a blanket, the Tay at Sing and Den all had only added to the sweetness of the eventual Sir Euronder, and YN knew she'd be eager to restart the game the next day. For the time being, however, they only in Euro at each other. Him and Pooh, at away from her, his gaze never lay at being hers as he settled beside her. They all at Y there, the sound of their BR Euro aiding the only music in the room, and the SC Euro NT of their love NG Euro ring. Wine felt his wet RMTH beside her, his AM resting on her stomach, and his sits rising and falling with each BR a tut. She chet out, TR at CT the line of his JW, and felt the stubble that had grown throughout the day. Thank you, she said softly, her voice full of awe. Himan turned to Key Dollar Dollar her palm, his eyes Clo Dollar Ed. For what? He mumbled, his voice heavy with sleep. For always making me feel so, red, she said, her voice full of tender aftayan. He opened his eyes, a soft smile spurt out across his eye. Peace, you're welcome, he said, his voice a gentle caress. But it's easy when you're the one I want more than anything. The room was bathed in the soft glow of the setting sun, with the walls painted a warm orange. They all at why there, be it sking in the quiet sat. SFA tie-in that comes only after a day of tay at sing and pa dollar dollar ion. But the night was still young, and the game wasn't over. Yoing's eyes twinkled with mischief as she rose, and onto her side, her hand. Sol ding dee, 0 when to cup his. I think it's time for round 2, she said, her voice like a say end's call. Himan's eyes popped open, the heat in them providing a clear answer. He let it net in, his alopeus capturing hers in a gentle yet dem and ding Key Dollar Dollar, their BOD, ism 0 ved together, indicating a silent agreement to continue the dance they had begun. Their L0 Vemet King was a slow burn, a delicate dance of Tay at sing, and TOUCH that he tin their tens on once more. Himan took his time, admiring every in notch of her B0D while making hers K, NPR. Sequel, with anticipation, her Euro G's pub Ted for him, and she sighed happily as she welcomed him back ends. Day. He am 0 ved with a patience that was both frustrating and exquisite, his gaze never leaving hers as he brought her to the brink of ecstasy. As the $10 iron anchor euro aced, so did the Antinous. Tie of their Key Dollar Dollar ease, their BOD, ism 0 being in perfect harmony, and their hearts beating together when they re-ched the P euro og, their ecstatic cries filled the room, demonstrating the depth of their pay dollar dollar ion. They lie together, BOD, is intertwined, Ned hearts rowing in the aftermath, as they both caught their BR2 day, him and stir 0 ket her. Hair and TR at C, DL at Z circles on her forehead with his thumb. Wyatt felt such deep contentment that it was almost painful, a sense of completeness that she never wanted to lose. I love you, she said, barely above a whisper. I love you too, he said, his voice full of emotion. Always. Their gazes met, and she knew she had arrived home in the eyes of this man who knew her better than she knew herself. As the night darkened, they made love again, their BOD, ism 0 ving. In unison, in a rhythm as natural as Bariat thing. Each TOUCH, Key Dollar Dollar, and shared moment of pledge sure was a declaration of their love, a promise for eternity. And when the day's Teat Sing was over and their BODs were full, they fell into a DP peaceful sleep, their hearts still beating in sync with one another. The game was never truly over, with anticipation G Euro ring and ready to be reignited with a single glance or TOUCH. But for now, they had each other, and that was enough. Their love story was never ending, with each day bringing a new chapter of $dollar iron and discovery. As they drifted off into the night, the promise of tomorrow's Teat Sing and Sir Eurondur lulled them to sleep.